scientist has once again kicked the proverbial bucket, but for real this time, I guess. The news reaches his old friends. You've got adult Stan, an online liquor consultant, which sounds like a super fake job I've already written a cover letter for. Then there's adult Kyle, whose only finding qualities seem to be still lives in South Park and still hates Cartman. And of course, there's adult Cartman, the juvenile anti-Semite turned Orthodox rabbi. And yes, we're as suspicious as Kyle about that. Anyway, the former bros gather to mourn their beloved hoodie enthusiast at future South Park. And it turns out the future is really f***ing stupid, full of things that nobody needs, wants, or ever would have asked for. There are singing doorbells. Apparently in the future, all doorbells sing.
And they changed it anyway. Okay, come on. Let's go. Okay.
This video is brought to you by Keeps. What's up, guys? Michael here to dissect the most outrageous thing you consumed this Thanksgiving. No, not Aunt Leandra's homebrewed pumpkin liqueur. We're talking South Park, the post-COVID special. Now, South Park never fails to shock. Still, throughout its 23-season run, it has always remained firmly rooted in the relationships between its four central characters, the foul-mouthed elementary schoolers Kyle, Stan, Cartman, and Kenny. But in this special, for the first time ever, we see the boys all grown up. But what does moving South Park into the future do? And specifically, can it tell us anything important about the present-day carnival of crap we're living through? Let's find out in this quick take on South Park. Will the future suck ass? And as always, spoilers ahead. But before we get into it, I want to tell you about this video sponsor, Keeps. Did you know that 2 out of 3 men will experience male pattern baldness of some kind by the time they're 35? That's so many dudes. But I have some good news for that bevy of bros. Keeps exists. Keeps is a subscription service that makes it easier and more affordable to prevent hair loss. The process starts with a free consultation with a licensed Keeps doctor. Your doctor can help you get the right combination of FDA-approved prescriptions and over-the-counter medications to help prevent further hair loss, and it's all shipped right to your door. And you won't have to worry about running out and ruining your treatment routine because Keeps automatically refills your subscription every 3 months. You can message your Keeps doctor 24/7 to update them on your progress or ask them questions. Soon you'll see why Keeps has more 5-star reviews than any of its competitors. You can see results in 4 to 6 months, so get started today. If you're ready to take action to prevent hair loss, go to keeps.com/wisecrack or click the link in the description to receive 50% off your first order. That's KEEPS.com/wisecrack. Now, back to the show. This special opens with some pretty good news. The pandemic is almost over in 2061. Please kill me gently. But then, tragedy strikes. Kenny, now a well-respected philanthropist and brilliant scientist, has once again kicked the proverbial bucket. But for real this time, I guess. The news reaches his old friends. You've got adult Stan, an online liquor consultant, which sounds like a super fake job I've already written a cover letter for. Then there's adult Kyle, whose only defining qualities seem to be still lives in South Park and still hates Cartman. And of course, there's adult Cartman, the juvenile anti-Semite turned Orthodox rabbi. And yes, we're as suspicious as Kyle about that. Anyway, the former bros gather to mourn their beloved hoodie enthusiast in future South Park. And it turns out the future is really f***ing stupid, full of things that nobody needs, wants, or ever would have asked for. There are singing doorbells.
They're supposed to be ugly.
In the future, all doorbells sing. Comedy takes place in the Moderna Center.
Live from the Moderna Center in downtown New York, it's Late Night with Jimmy.
Also,
Amazon thinks they might have discovered gold on Mars.
And these dudes inexplicably wear weird bubble hats. Every single store is a deluxe or supermax version of itself, even the community center. And Applebee's and Denny's have produced an evil spawn.
Denny's is now Denny's Applebee's Max. Come taste the difference.
Credit cards are out, crypto is in.
Now, of course, we only take Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency because, it's the future.
Meat is donezo, crickets are on the menu, and honestly, I'd rather just go vegetarian.
You'll see there's some dishes made from insect protein on the menu. That, of course, is because here in the future, we've all learned that insects are a valuable and sustainable food, and we no longer fear it as food.
Some people can afford a specialized dog optometrist, while other people live outside City Hall. The cars are self-driving, but it's not even that fun. Also, Also, music sounds like this.
We are all living in the future.
As one reporter succinctly summarizes,
The future certainly sucks.
but the future isn't just shockingly dumb, it also seems pretty lonely. On a personal level, our favorite bro squad remains torn after decades of animosity. But things are also pretty bleak on a broader social level. Instead of tossing footballs on the playground, kids wander around in VR goggles. Also, one dude just shoots someone and happily takes their groceries. And then here's how society treats the elderly. They're mostly shuttered up in one big building where they sit around refusing to share their emotions.
It's 4 o'clock. You know what that means. It's share time.
The world's top priority is keeping these old folks alive, despite the fact that they all seem pretty miserable and don't get to interact meaningfully with society. Everyone is alive, but none of them get to actually live. And most importantly, there's Stan, whose only real relationship appears to be with his hologram, Alexa, who manifests as a badgering wife. She nags Stan in between offering him special deals on new headphones.
By the way, I can tell you about some great deals on headphones at Best Buy. Would you like to know more?
Based on a slowly revealed family tragedy,
His sister was in the barn and she burned to death. Because you locked her in the barn because she wouldn't do her weed chores because she hated weed too. His mother couldn't take the loss of Shelly and so she killed herself, which is your fault.
Stan's grown bitter, defensive, and suspicious of everyone.
You judge me. You all sit here and judge me. Well, all of you.
Instead of mourning Kenny's death in public, he drinks the pain away and passes out in his car. Though we were intrigued by his pour some wine into your beer cocktail.
It's not pounding beer and wine. I drop wine shots into the beer. It's called a smorgasbord and it's very cultural.
This vision of the future had us thinking a lot about something called atomism. This is a concept that came from Greek thinkers Democritus and Leucippus, who envisioned the world as made up of a gajillion tiny atoms. Philosophers Thomas Hobbes and John Locke then used the concept of atoms to theorize about the way people behave. Essentially, each person functions as their own individual atom, pursuing their own goals based on their own motivations. But to exist in a society, you have to negotiate a balance between your individual interests and your responsibilities to that society. AKA, you gotta sign that metaphorical social contract. Lots of philosophers since Hobbes and Locke have debated about just how much people should have to give up in order to live in civilized society, and how much responsibility we have to our fellow society members. In future South Park, we see just how little responsibility people feel for those around them when the town finds out that Kenny died of a new COVID variant.
The COVID Delta Plus rewards program variant.
The town erupts into a selfish, fear-driven panic that's all too recognizable. People jump out of windows, raid the grocery store, fight over paper towels, and so on. In short, they seem to have learned nothing since March 2020. Then, news surfaces that one person in town has yet to be vaccinated. So the government constructs a quarantine wall with violators being shot on the spot.
Please!
I just need to go to a
Why can't the unvaccinated person just be identified and given an easy jab? Because
It's the future, and we don't single out or ridicule anyone for their personal beliefs.
we learned that the anti-vaxxer in question is none other than Clyde, who has an explanation.
I just need to see the research first, you know?
Presumably, conspiracy theories propagated in virtual echo chambers have made him hesitant to make the simplest of sacrifices for his community.
But I read that sometimes in the lab where the vaccine is made, if somebody ate shellfish, they can get cross-contaminated and have leftover residual shellfishness. So you're saying
I
you
have
won't
no
take the
idea.
COVID vaccine out of shellfishness? Yes, that is
I
correct.
have no
Just a
idea.
general sense of shellfishness.
Now,
That's
the
disgusting. I
question
did not know
about
it was
our
called the
collective
fruit pie.
responsibility to society has come up plenty. Where creators Trey Parker and Matt Stone's shared libertarian values regularly surface. As we've mentioned before, Parker's self-proclaimed political philosophy is, don't tell me what to do. And South Park has regularly emphasized the importance of personal freedom, even if those freedoms don't necessarily conform to the public interest. In fact, the worst sin on South Park is often just being super annoying about how noble your personal choices are. However, in this episode, the show seems to be somewhat reevaluating that stance. It seems to even explicitly roast individualism taken too far, suggesting that anti-vaxxers aren't making a personal choice. They're just being really f***ing shellfish. I mean, selfish. In South Park circa 2061, there doesn't really seem to be a social contract at all. Because again, stuff like this happens. And the show seems to be predicting that this is the direction the world is headed. This all makes us think of possessive individualism, a term first coined in the early 60s by scholar C.B. McPherson. Possessive individualism has two components. First is the Enlightenment era idea of the supreme importance of the individual's human rights and political autonomy.
Bless you, child.
You got a fast car. I wanna take her to anywhere. Maybe we make a deal. Maybe together we can get somewhere. Any place is better. Starting from zero, got nothing to lose. Maybe we'll make something. Me, myself, I got nothing to prove. You got a fast car. And I got a plan to get us out of heaven, working at the convenience store. And it's to save just a little bit of money. We won't have to drive too far. Just cross the border and into the city. You and I can both get jobs and finally see what it means to be living. See, my old man's got a problem. Yeah, but the bottle, that's the way it is. He says his body's too old for working. His body's too young to look like his. My mama went off and left him. She wanted more from life than he could give. I say somebody's got to take care of him. So I quit school, that's what I did. You got a fast car, fast enough so we can fly away. We gotta make a decision. Leave tonight or live and die this way. I remember when we were driving in your car. Speed so fast, I felt like I was drunk. City lights lay out before us, and your arm felt nice wrapped around my shoulder, and I had a feeling that I belonged, and I had a feeling I could be someone, be someone, be someone. You got a fast car. We go cruise and entertain ourselves. You still ain't got a job. I work in the market as a checkout girl. I know things will get better. You'll find work and I'll get promoted. We'll move out of the shelter, buy a bigger house and live in the suburbs. I remember when we were driving in your car. Speed so fast, I felt like I was drunk. City lights lay out before us, and your arm felt nice wrapped around my shoulder, and I had a feeling that I belonged. I had a feeling I could be someone, be someone, be someone. You got a fast car. I got a job that pays all our bills. You still drinking late at the bar, seeing all your friends and you do your kids.
I'd always hope for better. But maybe together you and me find it. I got no plans, I ain't going nowhere. Take your best car and keep on driving. I remember when we were driving in your car. Speed so fast, I felt like I was drunk. City lights lay out before us. Your arm felt nice wrapped around my shoulder, and I had a feeling that I belonged. And I had a feeling I could be someone, be someone, be someone. You got a fast car, fast enough so you can fly away. You gotta make a decision. Leave tonight or live and die this way. The thrill is gone. The thrill is gone. Thrill is gone, baby. Thrill is gone away. Got me wrong, baby. You'll be sorry someday. Thrill is gone. The thrill is gone away from me. Thrill is gone, baby. Thrill is gone away from me. Although I'm still alone, but so lonely I'll be. Okay. Do like you. Images. What do you want to be, Nicole? all the baits have taken and leave me back to it. And I wonder, is life at its peak now? Is it stuck in first gear? When will disappear? And time keeps passing by, but I'm too busy to reply. And as I close my eyes, I say that I won't go tonight. I'm looking for a sign. My only friend have been online. And as I close my eyes, I tell myself I'm fine. And I don't wanna cry, but now it's hard to breathe. And now everybody's standing here, but no one seems to know me. And I'm alright tomorrow, I'll be fine. 'Cause you can't be happy, you can't be happy all the time. You can't be happy all the time. You can't be happy all the time. As I walk through the streets now, I realize I don't know where I'm going. I don't know why I'm here. And if I live just to please without showing, do I lose myself here? Am I living by fear? And time keeps passing by, but I'm too busy to reply. And as I close my eyes, I say that I won't go tonight. I'm looking for a sign. My only friends have been online. And as I close my eyes, I tell myself I'm fine. And I don't want to cry, but now it's hard to breathe. And now everybody's standing here, but no one seems to know me. And I'm alright tomorrow, I'll be fine. 'Cause you can't be happy, you can't be happy all the time. You can't be happy all the time. You can't be happy all the time. My family always said I was the bad child, throwing me away into the background. All my life been putting on a fake smile, sitting on my own, feel like I'm exiled, feeling like I always do the wrong things, carrying all the friends and I'm the bad kid. Now I'm on my own, I lost my magic. Dealing with your bullshit, now I'm over it. And you took a part of me, left me with the memories of we were never a family. Now you're standing in front of my door, oh. Like none of this happening. I guess I'm always gonna be the bad child. I guess I'm always gonna be the bad child. 'Cause you'll never understand my weird mind. My weird mind. And to every single person here that doubts me, telling me that they could live without me. 'Cause they will never understand my weird mind. My weird mind. I've never really been the one to reach out. Acting like my life was squeaky clean now. Like everything I do is just to let down. Feeling like I always do the wrong things. Telling all their friends that I'm the bad kid. Now I'm on my own, I lost my magic. Dealing with your bullshit, now I'm over it. And you took a part of me, left me with the memories of we were never a family. Now you're standing in front of my door. Like none of this happening. I guess I'm always gonna be the bad child. I guess I'm always gonna be the bad child. 'Cause you will never understand my weird mind. My weird mind. And to every single person here that doubts me, telling me that they could live without me. 'Cause they will never understand my weird mind. My weird mind. Lost my mind. They say I'm left of time. I think they're kind of right. In fact, they're kind of right. They say I've lost my mind. They say I'll never find it. I think they're kind of right. I guess I'm always gonna be the best. I guess I'm always gonna be the best. 'Cause you will never understand my weird mind. My weird mind. And to every single person here that doubts me, telling me that they could live without me. 'Cause they will never understand my weird mind. My weird mind. My family always said I was the bad child. Maybe I'm not pretty, maybe I'm just fine. 'Cause I got a belly and I got a bum. And I'm always jelly of all the other ones with the itty bitty bellies and their bums. I know that I should love myself, but it's getting kinda hard when you're constantly feeling like garbage. No, I shouldn't hurt myself, but I can't find a way to lose weight without literally starving. Every other song says I'm beautiful, but what if I feel like I'm beautiful? I wish my body image didn't say that I should be another kind of way. Maybe I'm not pretty, maybe I'm just fine. 'Cause I got a belly, I got a bum, but I can't be jelly of all the other ones. So I'm falling in love with I'm not gonna ask for help, 'cause all you're gonna say is you're perfect and oh, you're so worth it. Sometimes I hate myself, I get inside my head and I think that I somehow deserve this. Every other song says I'm beautiful, but what if I don't feel like I'm beautiful? I wish my body image didn't say that I should be another kind of way. Baby, I'm not pretty, maybe I'm just fine. 'Cause I got a belly and I got a bum, but I can't be jelly of all the other ones. So I'm falling in love with Maybe I'm not pretty, maybe I'm just fine, cause I got a belly. I got a bum, but I keep it jelly. Of all the other ones, I'm falling in love with so I'm falling in love with Why am I so damn lonely? Am I the only one who feels this way? Why am I so damn reckless? I can check this. I am not okay. And they say maybe I should learn a little thing about depression. Like crying to a stranger's gonna help me with progression. And I don't wanna take it, I don't wanna learn my lesson. All I really want is just the love and the affection. And they don't understand a single word that I am saying. All they wanna do is put me on some medication. It's hard for me to open up, it's hard for me to say shit. Writing all this music's like my form of meditation. And ooh, the content take me away again. Take control of me and all my friends. I've got this feeling and I can't break free. Why am I so damn lonely? Am I the only one who feels this way? Why am I so damn reckless? I can check this. I am not okay. Why am I so damn lonely? Am I the only one who feels this way? Why am I so damn reckless? I can't take this. I am not okay. So I thought, what's the point in trying if I cannot find no reason? I'm lying to myself, I got a problem with believing. Believing in the good time on my face can be deceiving. Cause I've been trying to hide it, I've been falling off the deep end. We're posting happy photos like we have two different faces. Ride and take me back to this from when we're on vacation. Doesn't help me feel this whole of loneliness I'm facing. Like 20 likes supposed to be the one salvation. And they're come to take me away again. Take control of me and all my friends. I've got this feeling and I can't break it. Why am I so damn lonely? Am I the only one who feels this way? Why am I so damn reckless? I can check this. I am not okay. Why am I so damn lonely? Am I the only one who feels this way? Why am I so damn reckless? I can't take this. I am not okay. Mm-hmm. Everybody's talking about sex. Everybody's talking about X. Like no one really wants to find a genuine connect. Before they even look at you, they move on to the next. And I know Then they say, don't you worry, I'm the one. And the very next day they said they're done. And I don't wanna listen to the shit you spun. No, I don't want to listen to the shit you spun. Walking to a party, feeling out of place. Everyone's too cool, everyone's too fake. I try to start a conversation, but I can't seem to relate. Yo, I'm about to get an Uber. You're so fucking You're just way too fucking cool. And I don't really care if you're in. And I don't really care for gold thing. You'll be pointing at some girls and saying, yeah, we had a fling. You're not fooling me, you're just a puppet on the string. Just a puppet on the string. Oh, they say, don't you worry, I'm the one. Then the very next day they say they're done. And I don't wanna listen to the shit you spun. No, I don't want to listen to the shit you spun. Walking to a party, feeling out of place. Everyone's too cool, everyone's too fake. I try to start a conversation, but I can't seem to relate. Blended ladies, blended ladies. What did I say about coming into my room when I'm doing a video? Get out of my room! You're so fucking cool. You're just way too fucking cool. You're so fucking cool. You're not a face. Everyone's too cool. You're just way too fucking cool. You're not a face. You're so fucking cool. Have all my friends gone? I seem to have lost them on my way. And now this bottle filled with candles. They tell me that I have got to stay. You're so fucking cool. You're just way too fucking cool. You're so fucking cool. You're not a face. Everyone's too cool. You're just way too fucking cool. You're not a face. You're so fucking cool. You get a fast car. I wanna take it to anywhere. Maybe we make a deal. Maybe together we can get somewhere. Any place is better. Starting from zero, got nothing to lose. Maybe we'll make something. Me, myself, I got nothing to prove. You got a fast car. I got a plan to get us out of here. Been working at the convenience store. Managed to save just a little bit of money. Won't have to drive too far. Just cross the border and into the city. You and I can both get jobs. Finally see what it means to be living. See, my old man's got a problem. Yeah, but the bottle, that's the way it is. He says his body's too old for work. His body's too young to look like his. My mama went off and left him. She wanted more from life than he could give. I said, somebody's got to take care of him. I quit school, that's what I did. You got a fast car. Is it fast enough so we can fly away? You gotta make a decision. Leave tonight or live and die this way. So I remember when we were driving in your car. Speed so fast, I felt like I was drunk. City lights day out before us. And your arm felt nice wrapped around my shoulder. And I Had a feeling that I belong. I had a feeling I could be someone, be someone, be someone. We got a fast car. We go cruise and entertain ourselves. Still ain't got the job. Now work in the market as a checkout girl. I know things will get better. You'll find work and I'll get promoted. We'll move out of the shelter. Buy a bigger house and live in the suburbs. So I remember when we were driving in your car. Speed so fast, I felt like I was drunk. City lights day out before us. Your arm felt nice wrapped around my shoulder. And I had a feeling that I belonged. I had a feeling I could be someone, be someone, be someone. You got a fast car. I got a job that pays all our bills. Sell chicken, they got the boss. And more your friends than you do your kids. I'd always hope for better. Thought maybe together you and me find it. Got no plans, ain't going nowhere. Take your fast car and keep on driving. So I remember when we were driving in your car. Speed so fast, I felt like I was drunk. City lights stay out before us. Your arm felt nice wrapped around my shoulder. And I had a feeling that I belonged. I had a feeling I could be someone, be someone, be someone. You got a fast car, but that's enough so you can fly away. You gotta make a decision. Leave tonight or live and die this way. He left no time to regret. Kept his way with his same old same bed. Me and my head high and my tears dry. Get on without my guy. You went back to what you know. So far removed from all that we went through. And I took the trouble trying. My odds are stacked. I go back to black. We only separate words. I died 100 times. You go back to her and I go back to her. I love you more. It's not enough. You love me and I love her. And life is like a pie, and I'm a tiny penny rolling up the walls inside. We only said goodbye with words. I
not common?
No, not the house sticker.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
It's nice, eh?
That too, yeah. That was like, this is like an inch.
Can you not?
It's like an inch deep and like insert.
That part. Please don't. Please stop.
People here to eat. I'm going to the store.
What? No, you're not about to back, son.
No, we're not the store.
Cameron? Why would you go to the store right now? Why would you go to the store right now? You guys gonna get beer? I'm lying. You're a fucking bad liar. You're such a fucking bad liar.
I mean, it's funny, but like, I'm actually not going to get beer. Why would I get beer?
Because you were saying before you want beer.
Oh, I didn't. I said I haven't had a beer in so long. I said I should have a beer, but I won't because.
Whoa. Good.
Cat litter and toilet paper. Apparently.
Great.
I took a pill in Ibiza to show Avicii I was cool. And when I finally got sober, felt 10 years older, but fuck it, it was something to do. I'm living out in LA. I drive a sports car just to prove I'm a real big baller, cause I made $1 million and I spend it on girls and shoes. You don't wanna be high like me, never really know why like me. You don't ever wanna step off that roller coaster and be all alone. And you don't wanna ride the bus like this, never know who to trust like this. You don't wanna be stuck up on that stage, stuck up on that stage singing. Oh, I know. Sad soul, sad soul.
Cameron, I swear to fucking God.
I'm sorry.
Literally face shit on your head. You're a liar. Get away from me.
Whoa.
Then go down the back.
Okay.
You can't. Let me mine. I did it. With a dog. Yeah, I don't give a shit what you want to do or not. I'm never do anything. You can go back. I'm gonna procrastinate the fucking date. Keep this shit off of a week ago. Can you stop standing there judging?
Who already blew his shot? I get along with old timers, cause the names a reminder of a person. Yeah, and I can't keep a girl
No, you have to care, silly.
cause as soon as the sun comes up,
Okay.
I cut them all loose and works like scopes, but the truth is I'm keeping up. And you don't wanna be high like me, never really know why like me. You don't ever understand
Now, you feel like ass. Fucking suck.
you don't wanna ride the bus like this, never know who to trust like this. You don't wanna be stuck up on
You're
that
fucking with shit.
stuck up on that
Suck.
I know
Hi, Jack.
sad soul, sad soul. I know sad soul, sad soul. Sad soul. Sad soul. Sad soul. Sad soul.
Game's up! You're surrounded! Come out with your hands on your head! Goddamn. I need a drink. I'm gonna need someone to help me. I'm gonna need somebody's hand. I'm gonna need someone to hold me down. I'm gonna need someone to care. I'm gonna ride and shake my body.
Stop. Son of a bitch. Ain't that great? I don't even care.
Maybe I'm not pretty, maybe I'm just fun. I got a belly and I got a bum, and I'm always jelly of all the other ones with the itty bitty bellies and the bums. I know that I should love myself, but it's getting kinda hard when you're constantly feeling like garbage. No, I shouldn't hurt myself, but I can't find a way to lose weight without literally starving. Every other song says I'm beautiful, but what if I don't feel like I'm beautiful? I wish my body image didn't say that I should be another kind of way. Maybe I'm not pretty, maybe I'm just fun. I got a belly and I got a bum, and I can't be jelly of all the other ones. So I'm falling in love with my bum. I'm not gonna ask for help, cause all you're gonna say is you're perfect. I know you're so worth it. Sometimes I hate myself. I get inside my head and I think that I somehow deserve it. Every other song says I'm beautiful, but what if I don't feel like I'm beautiful? I wish my body image didn't say that I should be another kind of way. Maybe I'm not pretty, maybe I'm just fun. I got a belly and I got a bum. I can't be jelly of all the other ones, so I'm falling in love with my bum. I'm not pretty, maybe I'm just fun. I got a belly and I got a bum. I can't be jelly of all the other ones, so I'm falling in love with my bum. I'm not pretty, no, I'm not pretty. Yeah, I'm not pretty, so I'm falling in love with my bum.
I don't know if I can handle it listening to this.
I was lying on the grass a Sunday morning of last week, indulging in my self-defeat. My mind was fucked, all least the bugs, all twisted around the beat. Uncomfortable on 3 feet deep. Now the fuzzy stare from not being there. The confusing morning week. Impair my tribal looter speak. And of course you can't become if you only say what you would have done. So I missed a million miles of fun. I know it's over for me. You still listen, making sure I'm not in too deep. You still listen.
Big baby. Sad panda face. No.
Can we forget about the things I said when I was drunk? I didn't mean to call you that. I can't remember what was said or what you threw at me. Please tell me why. Because it's my God. Sleeping with my clothes on. Came through the window last night.
Why the fuck would I want an iPad box? Oh my god.
It's no surprise to me, I am my own worst enemy. 'Cause every now and then I kick the living shit out of me. The smoke alarm is going off and there's a cigarette
Ooh!
still burning. Please tell me
I really like that. 4 hours ago.
because it's fire and I'm sleeping with clothes on.
Oh man.
Came through the window
Go.
last night and you're
Fucking 10. You can't just gonna pick them up yourself in the scene. Done. Done middle. Fuck yeah. You kick the whole thing.
It's no surprise to me, I am my own worst enemy. 'Cause every now and then I can't believe it out of me. Can we forget about the things I said when I was drunk? I didn't mean to call you that.
That is badass. I want it. Wait. Did you ruin my paint? Is that my dog? Am I talking to dead air? Apparently so. I'll just go out. I have to take the dog out anyway.
I thought there was still like at least like 2 things.
Well, look around the bed. There's probably some around the bed somewhere. Ugh. No, I don't even want to do this anymore.
said I'll back out.
I just said I'll go out. I have to take the dog out anyway. Oh, put it in the fridge. No goodness.
Got you an arrow too.
Thank you. Great.
I think I'll have my first cigarette. So
Nothing.
actually not that cold out.
I know.
I want to smoke in here.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, hi. What's up? What? Yeah. Oh my god. Oh. Happy. Oh, yeah, okay. Can I have a roll of paper towel, please? Because I'm fucking retarded and we literally just had a conversation about toilet paper. Fucking dumbass. Can't fucking. Don't worry about fucking doing things. Yeah. What? I don't know where I'm about to drink anything. What? Stupid. What? No. I know. Summon me. I get it. There's notification on the phone.
Yeah. I know, me too. Stop. Nothing. Jack. Stop.
Okay, fuck you. What do you say? Hi, JJ. I'll take it Come on. Yes, please don't eat food off the floor. Yeah, what? Off. What's no? Can't come over here. Can't come over here. Not you either. Well, I guess that's the end of that. Waiting.
I don't know why I fucking tried to do it again. Entire outlet right there. Well, no, we haven't opened the door yet. Says that.
stay there. Yeah. I need to go somewhere, anywhere. Yep, we're going. We're going right away.
Chelsea won myself. We'll try
You need to
over.
shut the fuck up. You and your dumb fucking stupid fucking face and dumb fucking kids. Great. Yeah, you're not torturing gays anymore. Woohoo.
U.S. restricting.
4 days after suspending anchor Chris Cuomo indefinitely, CNN had enough, firing the younger brother of former Governor Andrew Cuomo for failing to tell the whole truth about his involvement in the politician's defense. The network saying, "We retained a respected law firm to conduct the review and have terminated him effective immediately." While in the process of that review, additional information has come to light. CNN adds it will investigate as appropriate. Andrew Cuomo's political career imploded earlier this year after a series of women accused him of sexual harassment, accusations Andrew Cuomo denies, forcing him to resign as New York's governor. Transcripts and text messages made public this week by the state attorney general's office show almost from the beginning Chris Cuomo worked behind the scenes to help protect his brother. The CNN anchor joining the then governor's inner circle to draft public statements, prep the older Cuomo for a press conference, and pass along what he thought was potentially damaging intel about two of the governor's accusers. Chris Cuomo also told investigators he tried to get information when asked to do so by his brother's top aide, saying, "When asked, I would reach out to sources, other journalists, to see if they had heard of anybody else coming out." Tonight, Chris Cuomo tweeting, "This is not how I want my time at CNN to end, but I have already told you why and how I helped my brother. Family ties that cross journalistic lines and cost Cuomo his job." Ann Thompson, NBC News, New York.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.
The charges themselves,
4 counts of involuntary manslaughter.
nearly unprecedented.
How unusual is it for parents to be charged for their child's school shooting?
I'll say this is highly unusual. I would basically say that it does not happen.
Unusual because prosecutors will have to prove gross negligence, that the parents knew something bad was going to occur.
What the prosecutor is saying is that given what you knew, it was so reckless, so grossly negligent to allow a child, and particularly this child with this child's problems, to have access to a firearm, that even if you never intended the outcome or participated in the shooting, you too, parents, are responsible.
It's rare, but Charges like these have been filed before. In Indiana, a mother was put on probation after her son took her gun to school, threatening to kill others. And in Michigan, Jamel James was sentenced to at least 2 years in prison after a 6-year-old took his gun to school, killing another 6-year-old. The parents say they'll fight the charges, but it's not just them under scrutiny.
You have to go back to the fact that you had school officials who had the same knowledge base that the parents did, and they allowed this young man to go back into school.
Remember the timeline as laid out by prosecutors. On Monday, a teacher sees the student searching for ammunition on his phone. On Tuesday, a teacher sees a drawing of his depicting a handgun, someone who was shot, and the words, "The thoughts won't stop. Help me." The school calls in his parents, suggests immediate counseling. When they refuse, school administrators then return the student back to his class with his backpack.
The signals were all there. Anybody who reads this literature knows these are alarm bells going off.
He killed 4 students that afternoon.
The teacher in the classroom who found the cell phone search for ammunition. And then I'm not sure if it's the same teacher who found the drawing the next morning, the day of the murders. She was doing a great job.
Yeah, but it just doesn't seem like it went any further than that.
Somebody dropped the ball.
Where does their responsibility end?
When you get caught with drugs at school, or it's even suspected you have them at school, they call out police dogs, they search your locker, they search your bag. Here it was believed someone might have a gun at the school and use it to hurt other students, and they didn't even bother to check his bag.
They can tell you, we are suspending your son right now. You have to remove him from the building. They didn't do that.
In a statement today, the superintendent said police still have not said if the gun was in his bag, and that before the student was returned to class, quote, "At no time did counselors believe the student might harm others based on his behavior, responses, and demeanor, which appeared calm."
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.
Yes. Yeah, you know, just fucking stupid fucking shit.
Gatherings. The fact that Mr. Arruda was very cautious, prudent at the 1 p.m. press conference for gatherings during the holiday season. And then you had Mr. Legault opening the door for a
Setting expectations.
Yeah, I mean, do you have the impression that that was a good strategy for the population to get them on board if himself mentioned the idea of having 20-25 people for gatherings?
I think it's another case where the government shouldn't make politics or raise expectations, should wait for science, and should disclose science in a very transparent way. We never got that. We never obtained that throughout the 3 waves. So once again, the demand from the Parti Québécois, please follow the science and stop doing politics, because we know that politics will be wrong in terms of following what the science requires.
But just to clarify one last time, the fact that the premier himself opens the door for 20-25 people gatherings, does it make more difficult afterwards to ensure the population follows the rules?
Of course, if the science changes, if the data changes, and you need to change the expectation, what is the rationale? What is the need to create expectations many weeks in advance? It's exactly what we've done a year ago when we told people that Christmas would be great during 3 days, only to backtrack afterwards because there was no data, no science before underneath that first announcement. So we need to stop doing that.
I think Mr. Legault is playing a very dangerous game. It's the 28 days challenge all over again. In such a time, politics should be behind science, not in front of science. When Mr. Legault does that, he raises the hopes of a lot of Quebecers, and those are legitimate hopes that I share deeply. Still, Quebecers are intelligent. They have learned how to behave themselves in a pandemic. They know how these things work now. We should respect their intelligence, and be transparent and follow science, not try to dictate science politically with such frivolous declarations.
Mrs. Anglade, you'll table a motion hoping that the CQ will adopt it, vote in favor of it, to recognize there is a denial of democracy since the start of the pandemic. Why do you assess that in Quebec there is a denial of democracy?
In Quebec right now, the way the government operates, they have decrees over decrees that they present in order to manage their decisions. So they don't have to come back to the National Assembly and explain what they do. So they can have contracts with companies, they can make decisions that affect people without having to answer any questions. This is not the normal way of operating. It's never been the normal way of operating. We were in an exceptional position with the pandemic. Right now, we're getting out of the pandemic. Kids are going to school. Companies are operating. People are actually going to karaoke. There's no reason why the government itself still governs with decrees.
Yeah, impression that governing with decrees is basically fostering this attitude of confrontation of the government towards family doctors and other unions representatives in health.
Absolutely. I believe that the way the government operates right now is really telling of how they operate in general. If you look at the way the government does things, when things don't work, they blame the previous government, they blame the pandemic, they blame the doctors, they blame the unions, but they never blame themselves. They never look at themselves in the mirror to say, maybe it's our way, our approach. And the approach is a way of dictating to people how we should be doing things. And I don't think this is what we call a good democracy.
You just mentioned something about the expenses. Quebec had more expenses than Ottawa within proportions. What's the calculation you made?
So Quebec, as an example, Quebec spent $133 million in communication ads for the pandemic. This is more than all the other provinces together. This is also more than what the federal government has spent. So we have questions about this. Why is it that in Quebec we spend so much money, but they have the right to do so? They have the right to give contracts without having to ask for different companies and different submissions. So this is something that is not acceptable. Again, we have to go back to a democracy. We don't have to, the government cannot just govern by decree.
Regarding the public health emergency, the Liberals are tabling a motion today to highlight the fact that with the pandemic, Quebecers basically are going through a denial of democracy. Would you go as far as using the words denial of democracy with the government governing with decrees?
The way the François Legault government is using the state of emergency is abusive. We've been saying this for months now. It is a false choice to say that we have to choose between a total state of emergency and a total return to the normal. There is a way, there is another way, and that way is the transitory law that Québec solidaire has been pushing for months now, since June. This virus will be with us, unfortunately, for a long time. So it's unimaginable that we will declare the state of emergency every time there's a new wave. We need to find another way. I think we have a very constructive position on that debate for Québec solidaire, and we will continue to push for that constructive solution. We don't have to choose between business as usual and total state of emergency. It's not true.
Mr. Legault, to start with you, it was interesting off the top of your speech at the beginning to say, growing up in the West Island, you learned about the fragility of French. We hear from a lot of our viewers that they think the opposite way, that being an English Quebecer, they learn about the fragility of English because of measures like Bill 101. What do you say to English Quebecers today? I know Mr. Jean Verret said it's not trying to pit two languages against each other, but English Quebecers might see today's bill as another arrow or another hit to the English community.
It's nothing against the English Quebecers. It's about protecting French, and all the rights of the English Quebecers will be protected. So they will still have the right to receive services in education, in healthcare, even in CJEPs in colleges. We put a clause where we say they will have priority to make sure that that there are about 17.5% of the places that are in Anglophone colleges, but sometimes the 8.7% of Anglophones, they say, because of the presence of Francophones and Allophones, sometimes I don't have a place. So we want to correct that. So I think we do a lot to protect them, like the cities that are bilingual. If they choose to remain, they can do that. So I think we did a lot of compromise, but I think it's also important that we all understand that this thing, society, is a plus for Montreal, for Quebec. All major cities in the United States, they try to be different. They try to have something to attract tourism. We already are a bit of France in North America. So it's a plus. I think that many English Quebecers like that, like the Latin part of Quebec.
And to pick up on that answer about municipalities, what's the thought process behind simply transferring the responsibility to the municipality to remain bilingual? Why leave that open?
It's a question of democracy. You have two choices. Either the Quebec government decide to remain everything the way it is. That was the approach of the Liberal Party. Or, like the Parti Québécois, we force all cities having less than 50% of their citizens, they force them losing their bilingual status. What we say is that we put that in the hands of the representatives of the people of the city. So you cannot have something more democratic than putting the decision in the hands of the people living in the city.
Is limiting enrollment in English CEGEPs the best solution? You have spoken in the past about the right of Francophones to have freedom of choice to go to the CEGEP that they want. So is limiting access the solution?
But unfortunately, we have discussion right now, so I don't have the final answer today. But we don't want to extend the Bill 101 to CJEPs, but there's a possibility to limit the number of places.
Do you feel such restrictions would be fair, though?
But I think that it's not black on white. It depends. You have different objectives. I understand that some Francophones would like to learn English in going to colleges. But I understand also, and you saw that this morning again, that French is fragile. Especially in Quebec. So we have to reinforce the Bill 101, and that's why we'll table a bill soon.
How do you make sure that Anglophone students are not penalized by putting a cap? The ones that would like to get into Dawson, for example, the competitiveness is very high. So how will you make sure that Anglophone students wanting to go to Anglo CJEPs are not penalized, Mr. Legault?
First, right now, I think that Dawson is at 7,800 places, so it's a lot of places. So I think that right now there are many places for the Anglophones in the Anglophone CJ.
you seem less optimistic, I guess, than some other people about a possible restriction, easing of some restrictions for Christmas.
We're not there yet. I think that you remember we had a plateau of the fourth wave at around 800. We were expecting an increase in the number of cases because remember, on November 15, which is 2 weeks ago, we had a release of certain measures. We were expecting to be at this level right now. If you remember the forecast that we have for an SPQ, this range of 1,000, 1,200, it was expected. So there is no panic with that. But we want to make sure that we stay there. And that's the reason we ask people to continue to follow the measures. Now, the second point is, as you know,
Wow. St. Lambert. Nice. That's it. Here goes another boot. Ow. Yeah, we're going. We're going. Yeah. I didn't even think about that. 10:30. Cool. Why that stuff? Okay. Yeah.
All the batteries.
Oh, good. so fucking really hurts. Try relax, okay? Just chill. I guess there we go. This is so stupid.